everyone, and welcome to Autism Hope Library. I am so excited. We've had him as a guest before, and we have him back. We have Glenn from IonCleanse, which is a major difference, and we are just so excited to have you back.
Well, thanks, Kristen. Always a pleasure to be here, and yeah, really appreciate the long-term relationship that we've had together. And so yeah, I was excited to be able to visit with you again.
It was funny, as I was saying a major difference, I'm like, I am always saying AMD, so I'm like, AMD, what does that stand for again? A major difference. And so, but yes, and many of you guys might have heard it as IonCleanse. Some people might see AMD. But if you don't know anything that I'm talking about right now, if you've ever heard of a foot bath, and many of us have heard of that when it comes to detoxification, and they're kind of confusing because you think, well, I'm putting my feet in this, like, what is it doing? Let me just tell you that IonCleanse is the only partner that we allow currently for foot baths. I have never seen anything like them. I feel very confident in, recommending this product to families that are looking for something like this. They're all not created equal. So that is why we partner with IonCleanse, AMD, or a major difference, to talk to you guys and to really educate you guys about foot baths. So now that we've dived all into that, let's get into the real nitty gritty, Glenn. Okay, yes. So let's talk about it. What exactly is the IonCleanse by AMD system, and how does it work?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. I am going to share a little picture here. If you see the young lady on the right-hand side of the picture, she has her foot bath in water. Yes, that water did start clean. Literally what we're doing is we are creating charged ions in the water. And people ask me, why is that important? What do ions do? Ions attract and neutralize oppositely charged particles. So when we're creating an ionic charge, and say for a period of time, we're going to create negative ions, then for a period of time, we're going to create positive ions. Why is that so important? Well, kind of begs the bigger question, what is the whole objective? Why are we doing this anyway? The whole goal, the objective of the IonCleanse is to help release or mobilize those toxins that we have stored in our body. Because right now, Kristen, you could have toxins stored in your body. Maybe they're not problematic for you right now, but what happens in 3 months, 6 months, a year, 5 years down the road if we don't ever address that toxic load? That's where real problems can occur. And in this community, we know a lot of our kids just have a super high toxic load. So that's in essence what we are doing, is creating that ionic charge. Imagine that being the big magnet. When we have toxins stored in our body, those are the smaller magnets. So we are literally mobilizing them so that they can exit the body. Now, during a session, and I do a lot of conferences, a lot of practitioners, and I'll explain that that's what we're doing. They're like, come on, Glenn, you expect me to believe that we're going to free up these toxins and release them from our body into the foot tub? And my answer is, well, yeah. And they look at me like I am absolutely crazy. And I kind of turn it back on them like, Doc, let me ask you, can you take a medication through a patch and absorb it into your body? And they're like, of course you can. So, well, can you put on deodorant and absorb that aluminum? Yes. Well, the same way we absorb through the skin, we can release through the skin. We do this every single day when we do what? When we sweat, right? Well, with the IonCleanse, we're creating this large ionic charge in the water, helping facilitate that release. We know we can and do release these toxins from our body into the foot bath, but guess what happens? And now the machine turns off. Typical session time is around 30 minutes. But even though the machine has stopped, we're going to continue detoxing. Why is that? As we release or mobilize these toxins, not all of them get released. So we still have a lot of these freed up toxins. The IonCleanse has created the perfect opportunity for you to continue to excrete or eliminate those freed up toxins. How do we do that? We're going to continue to flush them out through our urine, through our stool, our natural channels of elimination. So with our system, there's actually 2 parts to the overall detox. That's my abbreviated version.
I love it. And so let's talk about detoxification for our kids. And when I say kids, and I say this in every interview, so if you guys have watched any of my past interviews, I don't care if your kid is 2, 52, or 92.
Right.
You are somebody's kiddo, okay? So we say kiddo, but I don't care the age, so you don't need to email me to tell me that, you know, your kiddo is 30. Yes, that's your kiddo, okay?
I
So
literally had that phone call, my kiddo, and I'm thinking young, and the kiddo was 28 years old, but still, right, mom's kiddo. So you're absolutely right.
Absolutely. So is detoxification for our kiddos really that important?
Absolutely. And, you know, there's numerous studies within this community that show the importance. I mean, there's studies talking about how the heavy metal toxic load is relative to the severity level of those on the spectrum. Another, you know, I was just talking to Dr. Jared Scowron, and he's like, you know, for recovery to actually occur, detoxification has to be addressed. I mean, you can you can spend 5 minutes in PubMed and just find the correlation between toxicity and those on the spectrum. And it's, you know, time and time again, you've been to enough conferences as detoxification is paramount. So that kind of begs the question, how is the IonCleanse, how is that different than, there are a lot of different ways to detox, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can do sauna, you can do binders, you can do chelation, you can do the IonCleanse. Well, what's the beauty is it's number one, it's perfectly safe. We're not introducing anything into the body. So let's just compare that to, say, to what I call invasive forms. That would be binder supplementation as well as chelation. Number one, we have to introduce something into the body, right? We're putting a chelator or binder into the body, and those chelators, let's just, whether you do an EDTA or DMSA, you're doing a certain binder, what are they designed to do? They're going to attract what they're designed to do, and they're accumulating that toxicity. So it's bringing those toxins together. But now what happens if your kiddo has certain MTHFR gene mutations, or they have compromised detox pathways? We've now brought those toxins together. Doesn't necessarily mean they're exiting the body. Conversely, with the IonCleanse, we are literally freeing them up, and we're kind of giving the body those two different channels then to just eliminate them. One is what we release into the foot tub, and then that part two is that continued excretion I just talked about through the urine, through the stool, post-cleanse. That can occur for the next 24, 48, 72 hours afterwards. Biggest thing that I could offer people, should I take supplements or what do I need to do? That hydration. Now, we want to make sure we know most of our kids are dehydrated anyway. During the detox process, we talked about those freed up toxins, right? If we can get them drinking plenty of water, that's going to promote that urination, more stools. That's where we're going to get that continued flush. So that's big difference. Sauna is great. I have a sauna. I use it regular. I think there's kind of a big difference as far as the IonCleanse versus sauna. That being said, what do we know for our kiddos? Doing a sauna for them is very, very difficult for a lot of them to do. The heat, the sweat, the uncomfortableness, getting enclosed, it's an event. Where the IonCleanse, they can sit there, as you can see, you know, on the picture that we have. You can sit there, set them at the table, they can color, they can be on an electronic device, they can read, they can watch TV, they can just hang out with mom or dad. So it's a very easy thing for them to use.
And I that picture that you showed, wanted to just ask a question, because I know people looking at that, the water is a certain color, right?
Yes, yes.
So, okay, so can you talk a little bit about that color and if it means anything? And can you just put that down the sink and it's not gonna clog? I mean, I know the answer already because I actually have one of these, but for people watching that don't know, that would be my first question, is like, where do I pour that and what is that?
Yeah, let's get rid of some misinformation first. Not all of the color change that you're going to see originates from the body. We run what I tell people, ions don't play favorites. They attract and neutralize oppositely charged particles, whether there's feet in the water or no feet. So what are they neutralizing if there's no feet? We're using tap water. They have a charge to them. We are typically add a little bit of salt to increase the conductivity of the water. That has a charge. The array plate, that's the part that you see in the water, made out of stainless steel, has a charge too. This is the typical watercolor with no feet in the water. As you start to do a cleanse, you're going to notice different results from one person to the other, or even yourself over time. The body is going to set the priority of where we need to release from, and we will often override the color change that would occur just from what's in the tub. This was at a conference we were at. Here's two moms that were here literally 20 minutes in, right? Same water source, both brand new array plates. The only variable was the person cleansing, and as you can see, dramatically different results. So again, want to get over that information. That being said, Kristen, we really believe the biggest detox is not what you release into the water, it's that detox after that cleanse is over.
Okay, and I love that. And you can put that down the drain, guys. It's not going to clog the drain.
Correct. Yes, this is what we should be excreting anyway through our natural channels of elimination. So you can dump it down the toilet, you can dump it down the sink, you can dump it out in your yard, not going to kill your grass. So don't worry about it being a toxic substance. Totally, you won't get any letters from anybody. You dispose of it how you want.
And so now you touched a little bit on this, but we talked about is this not just for our kiddos, but can the entire family benefit from this? I know that there's so many different detoxifications, but often as parents we only focus on our kids' detoxification, but we're not really focusing on ours, and we want to be here for a long time too.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a great question, and thank you. You saved me the lecture. Right, I was talking to an autism mom this morning. I'm like, okay, you're getting the machine. We need to take care of ourselves as well, and that's one of the beauties of this system is we all can benefit by reducing the toxic load in the body. So, that being said, I kind of want to go to what I always recommend everyone is when you're really in this community, what 4 questions should you be asking when you're investing in a new therapy or a modality? Is number 1, you want to obviously make sure it's safe for your child. Is this something your child would actually do? Big question. You don't want to invest in something, not have them be able to do it. How effective has it been in the overall community? And this is the one, and you and I have talked about it before. What if it doesn't work for my kid? Right? You can have stat after stat after stat. What if it doesn't happen for my kid? Well, as regarding the safety, and this is really important and it's often overlooked, but we are mixing electricity and water, right? We invest in a medical grade power supply. We've been doing this for 19 years. Absolutely perfect safety record. Even if that control unit with what we have in place, that fell into the water while your kiddo was doing a cleanse, they are going to be perfectly safe. And also ease of use. Is my child going to use this? We have picture after picture of literally nonverbal children bringing the empty tub to mom and dad and basically asking for a cleanse. And as I talked earlier, set them up something comfortable. Give them a table. It's super easy to use. You use it in the comfort of your own home. You don't have to go outside to another facility, the stress of travel that you can definitely use in your own home. As far as the overall results, we've been working with AHA for 6 years now. There's a Facebook group that's parent-owned that's nearly 10,000 people. We've got proven results with thousands of satisfied customers specifically within this community. And here's the big one, because I actually asked the doctor and they said, you need to do this study. And I said, well, if we had a study and we showed it was 90% effective, the doctor's response, I would recommend it for every single client that I have. And I kind of asked them, I said, well, what about those 10% that it didn't work for? And they said, well, that's just part of life. You got to try and do the best you can. Well, with our system, I don't want you to invest in our product. and then you not get results. So we offer a 60-day, 100% money back guarantee. That starts upon your delivery. If you don't feel like you're getting results, it's not worth it. By all means, you can definitely return the system. So, those are kind of those four questions that I do suggest that you ask on any modality or therapy that you're really looking to invest for your kiddo.
I love that. And now here's the question that everybody's gonna want to know. First of all, how much does it cost? Because I love that we have a money back guarantee. How do we buy it?
Now you may laugh a little bit because I have on here the fifth thing is it's actually affordable. Now, what is affordable? So it's a significant investment. A lot of things going on here, but let's focus on the very middle. The IonCleanse Solo, the entire package is $1,995. Sounds like a lot of money. It is a lot of money. That being said, I have parent after parent after parent told me that is the best $2,000 they have ever spent. I know a lot of people don't have $2,000 just sitting around. So what we are offering here, all you have to do, mention Autism Hope Alliance, and we can break that into 4 monthly payments. There's no credit checks. There's no finance charges. If you do the math, $1,995 divided by 4, that's 4 monthly payments of $498.75. Now, again, a lot of money. That's $500. But based on the potential results that you're going to get, we think it's going to be an investment that you're going to say, man, one of the best decisions I ever made. And plus your entire family can use it. So that's what we do offer. 3-year warranty on the machine, 60-day money back guarantee, and breaking that into 4 monthly payments of $498.75.
I love that. I love that there's a payment plan because I know so many families out there. I know my family included. If we didn't have payment plans, it'd make it very difficult with so many different things you have to do.
Yeah, and really interesting. I've talked to some other vendors and suppliers. It's like, man, how can you do that and offer no credit checks or finance charges with that? And what we've come to find out, Kristen, is if you can actually help a family improve the health of their child, they're going to make their payment. So, I mean, it's just phenomenal when you do that. This is such a great and loving community that it's definitely reciprocal. So when you try and do the right thing, the other side always tries to do the right thing as well.
Well, I love it. And, I'm so grateful for companies like yours that you're really, you are making a difference, a major difference, no pun intended, but you really are. And so I'm glad you have the slide up for those that are listening, because some of you might be listening on our podcast. Some of you might be watching in the library. You can find them at amajordifference.com. And you also mentioned the Facebook group. Do you want to mention what the name of that Facebook group is?
Yeah, again, we don't own it. It's not company owned. It's called IonCleanse by AMD for ASD. Again, one more time, IonCleanse by AMD for ASD. Again, it's a parent-run group. And also, if you do have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I run the sales department here. We've worked long enough together, Chris, and I think you'll attest to this. Never any pressure to buy. That's not what we're about. So you have questions just on how it works or why it works or anything along those lines, just know that you can call. You'll never be pressured into purchasing. That's not what we're about.
No, it's very, to me, every time I've ever called there, it's very family feel. It feels like a family when you call. It's very, you're there to listen. You're there to answer questions. And I've never felt any pressure from anything ever. Anytime I've ever called, if I've had, if I needed anything. And I do, just for all transparency, guys, I own one. I bought one. I definitely think it's something that, we spend so much money as families out there on so many different things. And this was something I remember seeing, gosh, I feel like I remember seeing it for about a year or two. And then I kept walking by the booth, going, what is this? What is this water? And, finally, when I got the education behind it is when I thought, okay, I have to have one. And, if you're a family out there and you're feeling like, gosh, one more thing, again, this isn't something that's just for your kiddo. This is something for the whole family. And I think especially in the world we've lived in the last going on 2 years, we have really learned that, detoxification is so important. Keeping our bodies healthy is so important. And I think that's really where the future is going. So that's just my 2 cents on it. Do you have any final messages, Glenn, that you want to leave with families?
Again, do your homework. I appreciate you all being here. You have so much invested in your kids. And I just want to take a moment and say, I applaud you for always continuing to search. There is hope. There is answers out there. So I know we get frustrated from time to time, but just hats off to you, mom, dad, other caregivers. So all that you invest in your kids and doesn't go unnoticed. So I just wanted to say, job well done.
Well, thank you, Glenn. And thank you to everybody at AMD for, just really believing in our families, believing in our kiddos, believing in our parents, and just, really just doing the right thing to make the world a better place. And thank you to everybody that is watching. Until next time. Bye, guys.